Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Shitala charana paya, Shitala charana paya, Shitala paya, Sharana loilo, Sharana Nilo Gauranga tumi more Doyana chadi o Gauranga tumi Ye kule o kule moi Dilu tilanjali Ye kule राखी हो चराने मोरे राखी राखी हो चरणे मोरे राखी हो अपना बोली अपना गौरंग तुमी मोरे दयाना छाड़ी ओ गौरंग वासुदेव घोष बोले चरणे धरिया कृपा करे राखो मोरे कृपा करे कृपा करे राखो मोरे कृपा पद छाया दिया पद दिया गौरंग तुमी मोरे दयाना छाड़ी ओ गौरंग हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण
ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದಿದೆ ಸೊ 4 ಆಲ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್
राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
So the good.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Nala kore kara.
Hare Gauranga Tumi. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai. Nitai Gaur Haribal, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribal, Nitai Gaur. Nitai Gaur, Haribal, Nitai Gaur, Haribal, Nitai Gaur, Haribal. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा पुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की श्री श्री गौर निताय की ग्रंथराज श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. The meaning of this song is, O Lord Gauranga, please do not neglect to show me your mercy. Making me your very own property, kindly keep me situated at the reddish soles of your feet. With the intention of attaining your feet, I have utterly renounced everything. Now I have taken full shelter of your soothing lotus feet. Whether I am related to this family lineage or that family lineage, I have completely abandoned them all. I beg you to mercifully keep me by your feet, calling me your own. Vasudev Ghosh says, since I have tightly grasped hold of your feet, please keep me here by always bestowing their soothing shade. Srila Vasudev Ghosh ki jai. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to our continuation on the discussion of Chaitanya Lila from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Madhya Lila chapter 10th, the Lord's return to Jagannath Puri. Yesterday we discussed that before the arrival of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Puri Dham from his South Indian tour, King Prataprudra met Bhattacharya, Sarvam Bhattacharya, and inquired about him. When he found that there is need, he suggested that Kashi Mishra, the house of Kashi Mishra, is the best place, very close to Jagannath temple, but still quite secluded place, free from all the noise. So then Mahaprabhu arrives, then he goes to take darshan of Lord Jagannath along with Sarvam Bhattacharya. He is given the garland of the Lord, prasad of the Lord. With all of them, he comes back to Gambira, his residence. Kashi Mishra offers that, and he offers his life. Lord gives him Chaturbhuj darshan form and showers his mercy. Lord likes the place, Gambira, just suitable for him, and he is very happy. So then Sarvam Bhattacharya one by one introduces all the devotees like Janardhan, then Shikhi Maiti's brother, and so many others. We yesterday discussed that how each devotee with his service. That is the way. Without service, a devotee is dead. So what is most important is our service. That is our connection with the Supreme Lord, with Guru, and with all the Vaishnavas. So then Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was there, after introducing all these devotees, then there comes Bhavanand Rai, who is none other than Pandu, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies him because anybody who has son like Ramanand Rai, he is very glorious. So parents should train children in being Krishna's devotees. They should not worry about what about material education, how much wealth they have, how much house, property, how they look like. This is all immaterial. Here today, gone tomorrow. All these material things have absolutely no value. But only because of illusion, material energy, Maya Shakti, that parents get carried away thinking that my child should be a hero, material hero. Prabhupada in one of the purports talks about it. how a man can be hero, either in material life by going for sense gratification. I believe it comes in the Priyavrat's section, Puranjan section. Yeah. So either one can be after material pursuits, all material education, wealth, beauty, charisma, all that kind of thing. So he's hero in that sense. Or if he crosses the ocean of birth and death, he goes beyond Maya's power. So then he's hero. So which hero we want to be, or which hero our parents want their children to be? They want their child to be hero in the material circle, or they want their child to be hero in the spiritual circle. We find Gaur Mohanty, Srila Prabhupada's father, wanted him to be hero in spiritual circle only. Mother Rajani said that when Abhay grows up, we will send him to London for becoming a barrister. Immediately, Gaur Mohanty said, no, 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 no. I will not send my Abhay to London. He will get married to a fair complexioned girl and he will lose bhakti. No question. But Abhay will remain here and he will be a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Every day he would call at least four sadhus and he would request them, he would feed them prasadam of Krishna and he would request, please bless my Abhay, that he becomes a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. So you can see how protection was given by Srila Prabhupada's father for his spiritual upliftment, spiritual well-being. Similarly, when he was getting married, they had seen two girls. One was the one with whom Prabhupada got married. Her name was Radharani Datta. She came from Datta family. Another girl was there. So after seeing the two girls, one after the other, afterwards in the home there was discussion. So father decided Prabhupada, means Abhay Charan, should get married to Radharani Datta. So when Abhay came to know that my marriage is kind of getting fixed with her, then he in seclusion approached father and said, Father, the other girl is more beautiful than this Radharani. Why not marry her? She's very beautiful. Prabhupada liked her because the beauty was very good. Means better than this Radharani. Prabhupada's father said, oh Abhay, now from your future Krishna conscious point of view, it is better for you to marry with Radharani Datta, because if you marry that another beautiful girl, more beautiful girl, it will be very difficult for you to come out of family life when the time comes to come out. So better marry Radharani Datta only. And Prabhupada was thinking, oh, from my future Krishna conscious point of view. Just see. I say that कौन ऐसा बाप है that before the son's marriage is thinking of his son's retirement from family life. No father thinks so far. His far-sightedness is not there with any father. All are blinded by material energy, illusory energy. They think, oh, so nice, my son is marrying now, and there will be stars shining and flowers showering, and so nice. It will be all very nice. So Prabhupada's father was so clear. That's why Prabhupada says, my father was a pure devotee who trained me in spiritual life from childhood only. And Prabhupada dedicates Krishna book to his father and says that he was a pure devotee. Prabhupada refers to his father so many times, several times. So parents have great responsibility of training children in a Krishna conscious. They should absolutely not worry about material well-being. We can see Jagannath Mishra saying the similar way with Sachi Devi. When Vishwarup took sannyas, that was a great concern for Jagannath Mishra that my son, another son also, if he studies scriptures, then he will become aware that in material life there is no pleasure. So then he will also follow the path of his elder brother. He will also become a renounced sannyasi in future. So better stop his education. But then Sachimata raised objection. If he doesn't study, then who will give his daughter to our son as his wife? And what about his maintenance? How would he be able to maintain himself? Then Jagannath Mishra says, you see, I am so educated, I'm so learned, but in our house there is nothing. We are poor. And there are so many other Brahmanas who are not so educated, but they are wealthy. And similarly, as far as marriage goes, no, that will also happen. We don't have to worry. It is nothing to do with education and other things. So Jagannath Mishra was so clear that these things, material things, they they are not dependent on all these things. So within ISKCON, parents have a great responsibility not to get carried away by illusory potency, by the so-called outside society, which is focused in material direction, material advancement, economic development, and this and that. It's all bogus. It's absolutely have no consequence. Prabhupada's training was so amazing by his father. So that kind of training should be given by parents, and children will flourish. Children will flourish materially also. Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shrivi, all will come. For those who are Krishna's devotees, Krishna provides everything. Yoga Kshemam Vahami Aham. So that faith needs to be there. It comes by associating with the sadhus. So here are so many sadhus being described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in this chapter. So yesterday we saw how Bhavananda Rai offered his son Vaninath in the service of Supreme Personal Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then says that Bhavananda Rai, you are not some outsider. I absolutely have no hesitation in asking anything in case I need something. You, with all your family people, for generations, for every life, have been my servants. We ended at, which was the exact one? 60, okay. 61st. तबे महाप्रभु तारे घरे पाठाइला वाणीनाथ पटनायक के निकटे राखिला. He was sent home by Mahaprabhu, and Vaninath Patnaik, his son, Bhavananda Rai's son, was kept with Mahaprabhu. भट्टाचार्य सब लोके विदाय कराइला तबे प्रभु काला कृष्ण दासे बोलाइला. Sarvam Bhattacharya also sent off all the devotees who were introduced there. Now they were told to go. Then Sarvam Bhattacharya called Kala Krishna Das. The Lord called Kala Krishna Das. Prabhu kahe Bhattacharya shunah ihara charit dakshin giya chila iha amara sahit. Oh Bhattacharya, hear this person's character. This fellow, Kala Krishna Das, he went with me for South Indian tour. भट्टथारी काचे केला हमारे छाड़िया भट्टथारी हते हरे अनिल उद्धारिया. So it so happened that while traveling with Mahaprabhu in South Indian tour, in one particular place, this Kala Krishna Das was allured by some women who belonged to this category, this caste kind of some nomads, that kind of people, aborigines kind of. So they were called as Bhattatharis. What they would do, they would allure different men, kind of passers by or travelers, by keeping their women in front, and through those men they would expand their population. So that's what they were doing, and somehow Kala Krishna Das also fell prey to this allurement. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found where is my associate, assistant, he is not there. So Mahaprabhu went searching, and then he found him to be with them. So he asked them, you see, I am a sannyasi, I am alone, I require some assistant. He is my only assistant. Please give him back to me. He was very humble. But those people were very arrogant. They raised their weapons, and they released those weapons to kill Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as they released their weapons, by Lord's own arrangement, all the weapons turned around and attacked them only. Their hands, legs were chopped off. They got all the wounds. They all ran away. Then Mahaprabhu caught this Kala Krishna Das by his shikha and dragged him back. And here he is now, the case is going on, court case is going on. So what happened, he's saying, please hear all this he's telling, how I had to go and deliver this fellow. So he was supposed to assist me, but then I had to be after him. एबे आमी हानि करिलान विदाय यहाँ इच्छा यहाँ आमा सने नहीं आरदाय. Now that I have brought him here, I am asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes, for I am no longer responsible for him. So Mahaprabhu is rejecting him. I have brought him here because I had taken him from here, from Vaishnav Sangha. I brought him back. Now he can go wherever he wants. I have nothing to do with him. Because so we have to have a lot of sense control while serving devotees. Otherwise, we will get carried away by our own desires, and we may lose mercy. For brahmacharis in particular, it is said, brahmachari guru kule vasandanto guru hitam acharan dasavan nicho guru sudruda sauratam. This is applicable for all the disciples, but for brahmacharis all the more, because it says brahmachari guru kule vasan. He stays in gurukul, guru's ashram. Danto, he has to control his senses. When brahmachari guru kule vasan danto guru hitam, then he can work for guru's hit. Otherwise, he'll get carried away by sense gratificated desire. Guru tells him, go and call that devotee. He's going, and on the way there is Mahaprasad distribution, unlimited gulab jamun. He says, wow. Somebody says, Prabhu, gulab jamun for you. So, oh, really? So, could you like to take second, third, fourth? And he forgot only. And Guru has told me to get somebody. So this is what will happen. So Kala Krishna Das was carried away by womanly attraction, and thus he forgot his mission of assisting Mahaprabhu. Acharan Dasavan Nicho, he should behave like a humble menial servant. Brahmachari should behave like that. Grow Sudrudo Sauratam. That way he will have firm relationship, friendship with his spiritual master if he acts in this particular way. So here Mahaprabhu is not happy with Kala Krishna Das and he is rejected. I'll just read the purport. Kala Krishna Das was influenced and allured by nomads or gypsies who enticed him with women. Maya is so strong that Kala Krishna Das left Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company to join gypsy women. Somebody can be with God, with Krishna, and can get allured. When His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj was once giving some, I think that reference came. So he looked at his personal servant, Govind Prabhu, and said, Govind Prabhu, even the personal servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was allured by Maya. Even personal servant will not be spared. So Maya is very strong. Nobody can say that I am safe now. That as we discussed, Prabhupada's only concern was his followers are not sufficiently afraid of Maya. Maya is very strong, very powerful. Even though a person may associate with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can be allured by Maya and leave the Lord's company due to his slight independence. Only one who is overwhelmed by Maya can be so unfortunate as to leave Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. Yet, unless one is very conscientious, the influence of Maya can drag one away, even though he be the personal assistant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what to speak of others? The Bhattadharis used to increase their numbers by using women to allure outsiders. This is factual evidence showing that it is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. So that is given to us. In this creation, nothing belongs to us. No wealth, no relatives, not even body, nothing. Only desire. This is our only property. Once one young boy, he was in morning walk. It seemed that he wanted to ask Prabhupada some question from his bodily moments. It appeared, but somehow he did not ask for whatever the reason. Then ultimately the morning walk was over. The disciples, they opened the door for Prabhupada's car. Prabhupada sat, the door was closed. And that time that boy came running forward. He said, Swamiji, I have a question. I want to surrender my full life to Krishna. What should I do? Such a long question. And Prabhupada said, desire. The car had started, car left. Not that the driver in Haribari left. No, that was the only one word answer. Prabhupada said, desire. If you desire to surrender fully, Krishna will arrange everything accordingly. So desire is only our possession. Otherwise, everything else is here today, gone tomorrow. In now 2022, in 2052, 2082, how many, or 62, let's say 62 or 72, 50 years later, how many of us would be here? Those who are understanding what I'm saying, most of them won't be here, and those who don't understand, maybe they will be here. Hope they also understand. They're too small. No? So that will come 2022, 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Then we won't be here. Hopefully name remains for our services. Prabhu was nice. Did a lot of services to Prabhupada's mission. Somewhere name may also be there in list somewhere. So anyway, we do service, we will be recognized. Like my grandfather had property 24 acres in Mumbai Pune Express Highway. Government took 4 acres, so the government gives very less, 1 lakh only. So it was divided in 7. My grandmother and 3 sons, 3 daughters. So they per head got very less. But eventually the 20 acre was sold and they got a lot of money. So I requested my grandmother that please, for new temple, please donate something. So she was very kind, very happy. So she gave 1 lakh rupees. So her name is there in NVCC. They call Wall of Fame, I think, devotional fame. All those who gave 1 lakh and plus, their names are there. So her name is there. I sometimes happen to see there. feel, wow, what an amazing grandmother. She gave for Vrindavan Chandra, and her name is there. Even I may die, my name may not be there anywhere, but her name will remain there. So anyway, we serve Krishna. Krishna is Niha Vikramana Shosti. It will be for eternal in our eternal balance. This is factual evidence showing that it is impossible. It is possible at any time to fall down from the Lord's association. One need only misuse his little independence. Once fallen and separated from the supreme personality of God's association, one becomes a candidate for suffering in the material world. Although rejected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kala Krishna Das was given another chance, as the following verses relate. So this is very amazing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had another associate whose name was Chota Haridas, not Bada Haridas, not Namachari Haridas. So Chota Haridas, once Bhagwan Acharya had called Mahaprabhu for prasadam, so he told this Chota Haridas, could you please go to Madhvi Devi Dasi and get some white rice? I want to cook for Mahaprabhu. So he went there. She was old lady, so no problem. But there was one young girl sitting there. So Chota Haridas, though brahmachari, Vairagi, so he happened to look at her lustfully. He brought white rice, he delivered to Bhagwan Acharya, it was cooked, it was offered to Mahaprabhu and some other preparation. Mahaprabhu, while honoring, he asked, where did you get this white rice from? She said, from Madhvi Devi. Who got that? Chota Haridas. Mahaprabhu said, And Mahaprabhu honored Prasad. After washing hand, he came to Gambira. He told Govinda, henceforward, Chota Haridas is not allowed to come in my company. And Govinda was shocked. What happened? What's the problem? So then, but Mahaprabhu was very firm. And so many devotees tried requesting Mahaprabhu, please, Mahaprabhu, what is his fault? Please allow him. Mahaprabhu said, no, he cannot come close to me. And then Paramananda Puri even requested, please have mercy on Chota Haridas. He's crying. He's not eating anything in separation from you. He needs your mercy. Mahaprabhu said no. So Paramananda Puri was so much requesting. Mahaprabhu said, so you stay here. I am going to Alarnath. Go in, pack our luggage. We are going. And Paramananda Puri is proper. It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru. Guru's god brother. He's always respectful. But in this case, he's so firm. Then Paramananda Puri stopped and said, wait, Mahaprabhu, you please stay back. You are independent. Nobody can stop you. So everybody raised hand. And ultimately, Chota Haridas committed suicide because he was not just getting mercy only. 1 year passed by, and then Mahaprabhu asked devotees. So now Chota Haridas can be called. Mahaprabhu knows already he has committed suicide. So then it was informed to him by Srivas that one devotee from Navadip had gone to Prayagraj, and in Triveni Sangam, Chota Haridas committed suicide. That's what is the news. Then Mahaprabhu just smiled. All the devotees were wondering, what is that? So Chota Haridas, lustfully glanced at a girl, and for that, this was the result that he had to face. And here Kala Krishna Das was allured by women. He was so much surrounded by women only, so many, not one, so many, physical kind of. There it just glance, lustful glance, once only. And here it's physically women are surrounding him, and he still got mercy. So why? So devotees tell because this person, Chota Haridas, was direct associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personal associate. Whereas Kala Krishna Das was associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why he will be delivered. So it is safer to take shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be very strict. Krishna is super strict, ultra strict, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also no less, especially for brahmacharis, vairagis, all the more. So better we take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is very merciful, very, very merciful. So we can pray like that to him. एत शोनी कृष्णदास कांदिते लागिला मध्यान्ह करीते महाप्रभु चली गेला. Because he was rejected by Mahaprabhu, he started crying. And it was afternoon time, Mahaprabhu just left. You keep crying. I will not console you. I will not do anything. Mahaprabhu is very strict. Vajradapi Katora. Nityananda Jagdananda Mukunda Damodara Chari Jane Yuktita Pe Karila Antara. So these four associates of Mahaprabhu who had traveled with him from Puri, from Shantipur, Advaitacharya only had given these four associates for Mahaprabhu. So these are very compassionate. Nityananda Jagdanand Pandit, Mukunda, and Damodar Pandit. they thought of some trick. So they thought, let us engage him in some service and he will be delivered. So when devotees are compassionate to us, we have some hope. Lord can be strict sometimes and we have no hope. But devotees of the Lord are more merciful than the Lord by the mercy of the Lord. So amazing. Mm. Just like Prabhupada, Prabhupada was asked that how could you spread Krishna consciousness all over the world? He said, because Lord empowered me. So Lord can empower a devotee more than himself also. Much before when Prabhupada was Grihastha only, when Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur would quite often say that the holy name of the Lord will spread all over the world. Mahaprabhu has already predicted that Prithviti Acheda Nagaradikaram. So one of Prabhupada's Godbrothers, Sannyasi Godbrother, when they were coming down the staircase, he said, how would it happen? How would the holy name go to Western countries, Mlechas, Yavanas, they are so fallen? How would it spread all over the world? Then Prabhupada said, some fool someday will spread the holy name all around the world. And that Godbrother was surprised. He has faith that it would happen. And one who does that, he will be a fool. How can he say that some fool will do this sometime? So Prabhupada was referring to himself only. So Prabhupada's humility. He's calling himself that fool. But Prabhupada was very humble. That's how he could spread. In his Prayag pharmacy, when he was there was one OBL Kapoor who was initiated in 1932, 1 year before Prabhupada. Prabhupada met Bhaktivinoda Thakur in 1922, but he got initiated in 1933. So in 1932, this boy was younger, OBL Kapoor, and he was doing MA. So he wanted to score well in his exams and all. So he would come to Prabhupada's pharmacy and who would ask Abhay Charan Babu, you have some kind of medicine, some pills or something by taking which my memory will increase so that I can retain things and score well. So Prabhupada would give him those kind of pills and all that. Prabhupada knew the formula. So then OBL Kapoor, eventually when he got initiated in 1932, Prabhupada, when he would come, Prabhupada would pay obeisances to him. And OBL Kapoor would feel so awkward that, everybody knew in the Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disciples that Prabhupada is unique. There is no match. Though he is not initiated, he is in the heart of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So OBL Kapoor would feel very, very awkward and then he would pay obeisances. And then eventually he asked, it seems that you are making some medicine which you will spread all over the world. Some formula you have got for spreading the holy name. He said, yes, that formula is Trunadapi Shunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Ammanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So I am preparing this so that holy name will be spread all over the world. So Prabhupada was amazing. So here Mahaprabhu just left. He did not worry. And others four, they are the hope for this person. Prabhupada is quoting Chadiya Vaishnava Seva, Nistara Paiche Kepa. Anytime we commit mistake, we should just take shelter of Vaishnavas. That's why the first offense is the most grievous offense, worst of the all offenses. Because for every offense, the remedies go in the midst, in the assembly of Vaishnavas and openly tell what fault, what offense I committed and take their shelter. For every offense, this is the solution. That's why anybody who offends Vaishnavas is ruined. Because what is the hope? That only he is making himself hopeless by his own wrong deeds, by offending Vaishnavas. One should never commit offenses to Vaishnavas. One should always think, I'm humble servant and serve them. And Vaishnavas are so simple. You do small service, they are so happy. It doesn't take a big thing to do for pleasing Vaishnavas. So, as I said, I think earlier, advancement in spiritual life means having more and more masters. Advancement in material life means having more and more servants. One joins as an ordinary employee in a company. He's the lowest in the rung, in the hierarchy. But as time passes by, he honestly works. He's given promotion. And more people come under him, 5 people. He becomes project manager. And then he becomes one of the managers. People keep increasing below him, more and more servants, subordinates. But in spiritual life, more and more masters. Not that as I grow into seniority, then I have many servants. No, I have many masters. By serving whom? They will protect me. Dharmo rakshati rakshataha. If I protect dharma will protect me back. So one has to serve Vaishnavas And that is the essence of spiritual life. I think I was telling yesterday, in a contextual meeting, Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked questions. So what is the Yuga Dharma? And everybody said, chanting Hare Krishna. He said, Vaishnava Seva is the Yuga Dharma. Chadiya Vaishnava Seva, Nistara Paiche Keva. Giving up the service to Vaishnavas, how would you be delivered? Narottam Das Thakur says, just not possible. So Vaishnavas only give us holy name. Vaishnavas association only allows us to be able to chant the holy name. Ekaki Amar Nahi Paibal, Harinama Sankirtane. So these devotees, they are the hope for this person, that is Kala Krishna Das. Gauda Deshe Pathaite Chahi Ekajan, Ai Ke Kahibe Ai, Prabhura Ka Agaman. So the Lord's four devotees considered, we want to send a person to Bengal to inform Sachimata and other devotees who are feeling separation from Mahaprabhu, who had gone for South Indian tour. Long time passed by. Yugaitam Nimeshena, Takshusha Pravrushaitam. One moment appears like 12 years or more. That is the devotee's intensity of love towards the Lord. And he has been here kind of out for more than 700 days, 2 years more or less. So devotees were in separation from Mahaprabhu, Sachimata and others. So they have to be informed that he has come back. So some devotee needs to be sent there. Advaita Srivasadi Yata Bhaktagan Sabeyasi Vishwani Prabhuragaman. After hearing news of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival, devotees like Advaita Acharya and Srivas will certainly come to see him. After a long time, somebody comes, one feels like meeting him because separation is there. And what to speak of Mahaprabhu? He is the apple of an eye of everyone. E Krishna Das Deva Gaude Pataya Etakahi Tare Rakhi Lena Ashwasya. This Krishna Das, Kala Krishna Das could be sent to Gauda Desh. So saying that, they gave him confidence. Don't worry, you will get mercy of Mahaprabhu. Don't keep crying. Now stop your crying. So Mahaprabhu's devotees are the only hope for Kala Krishna Das. Aradine Prabhusthane Kaila Nivedan Agya Deha Gauda Deshe Pathai Ekajan. They said, oh Lord, please give us permission. By your permission, we want to send one person to Gauda Desh, to Navadvip. Tomara Dakshina Gaman Shuni Shachiyai Advaita Di Bhakta Sabha Ache Dukha Pai. Because of your going to South India, Sachimata, Advaita and other devotees, they are quite in distress. एक जन आई कहो शुभ समाचार प्रभु कहे से कर ये इच्छा तुम्हार. We want to send one devotee who will tell all this good news to all the devotees in Navadvip. And Mahaprabhu said, as you wish, you may do. तबे से ही कृष्णदास से गौड़े पाठाइला वैष्णव सभा के दीते महाप्रसाद दीला. He, Kala Krishnadas, was sent to Navadvip, and with him some Mahaprasad of Jagannath was also sent. तबे गौड़ देश आइला काला कृष्णदास नवद्वीपे गेला देह सची आई पाश. He came to Navadvip, this Kala Krishnadas, and he met Sachi Mata. महाप्रसाद दिया तारे कैला नमस्कार दक्षिण है ते आइला प्रभु कहे समाचार. He came, he offered obeisances, he offered Mahaprasad of Jagannath and informed her that Mahaprabhu has come back to Nilachal. Shuniya Anandita Haila Sachi Mata Raman Srivasa Diyarayata Yata Bhaktagan. Hearing this, Sachi Mata was so delighted, so happy, and Srivasa and other devotees also were very happy. Shuniya Sabar Haila Parama Ullas Advaita Acharya Grahe Kela Krishna Das. After informing them, who were all happy, then Kala Krishna Das went to house of Advaita Acharya. Acharya Prasada Diya Kori Namaskar Samyak Kahila Mahaprabhur Samachar. He offered obeisances to Advaita Acharya, he offered Mahaprasad and informed about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival. Sunyacharya Gosaira Ananda Haila Prema Veshe Hunkara Bahu Nritya Gita Kaila. Advaita Acharya was so happy hearing this news of arrival of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Puri Dham that in ecstasy of his love for Krishna, he loudly roared and he started dancing while singing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So secret of success in spiritual life is pleasing more and more devotees. How much we please, how many devotees we please, and each devotee how much we have pleased them. That gives the strength to us in spiritual life. And one should never commit any offense. All throughout Chaitanya Bhagavat, the only two instructions of Mahaprabhu: always chant Hare Krishna and never commit offenses to any devotee. So one has to take care not to commit offenses to devotees. Haridasa Thakurera Haila Parama Ananda Vasudeva Datta Gupta Murari Sena Shivananda. All the devotees are happy. Their names are given here. Haridas Thakur, Murari Gupta, Vasudev Datta, Shivanand Sen. They are all residing in Navadvip. Some of them will permanently join Mahaprabhu in Puri in the times to come. Like Haridas Thakur is one who eventually joined, and then he was given the place Siddhabakul, close to Gambira only, Mahaprabhu's residence. Acharya Ratnara Pandita Vakreshwar, Acharya Nidhyara Pandita Gadadhar. These were also happy. Acharya Ratna. Acharya Ratna was Mausa of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sachimata had a sister whose husband was Acharya Ratna. So he's Mausi's husband. So Acharya Ratna, Pandit Vakreshwar Pandit, Acharya Nidhi, Pandit Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Rama Pandit Ara Pandit Damodar, Shrimana Pandit Ara Vijaya Sridhar. All these devotees also were happy. Raghava Pandit Ara Acharya Nandan, Kateka Kahiba Ara Yata Prabhuragan. Raghav Pandit was also residing over there. So he, Acharya Nandan, he says, how many devotees names can I tell? Everybody is blissful that Mahaprabhu has come back to Puri Dham. It's very close to Navadvip. Chuniya Sabha Rahaila Parama Ulla Sabe me ligela Shri Advaitera Pas. They were so happy they all went to the house of Advaita Acharya. Acharya Rasabe Kaila Charana Bandhan, Acharya Gosai Sabare Kaila Alingan. They offered obeisances to the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya, who embraced them all. Dina Doi Acharya Mahotsava Kaila, Nilachala Yaite Acharya Yukti Druda Kaila. For 2-3 days, Advaita Acharya had a festival just on the occasion of the news of Mahaprabhu's arrival. Nilachala Yaite Acharya Yukti Druda Kaila. And he decided, let me go to Nilachal. I want to go to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu. Sabe meli Navadvipe ekatra hayya, Niladri Chalila Sachi Matara Agya Laya. They all gathered together. They all decided we are going to Navadvip. They took the blessings of Sachimata. Prabhu Rasamachara Shoni Kulina Gramavasi Satyaraja Ramananda Milila Sabhyasi. This news also went to Kulina Gram. So this is little far, Shrikhanda and other places. But Satyaraj Khan and other devotees, they also were very happy. They also came then, joined Advaita Acharya's party to go to Puri Dham. Mukunda Narahari Raghu Nandana Khanda Haite Acharya Rathaya Ila Nilachala Yaite. So they are Kulin Gramwasis. They are also very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everyone in Kulinagram is very dear to my heart. Even the dog in Kulinagram is very dear to me. Just see. This is the fortune of somebody connected to Vaishnavas in some way or the other. And the dog in Kulinagram gets the merciful glance of devotees. Their remnants he might be eating here and there. He gets to see them. So this is the fortune of the dog, that he becomes dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just because he is in the village where devotees are staying. So we should know that being with devotees is a supreme fortune. There is no better fortune than being with the devotees. Similarly, these Khandavasis also, they are Mukunda Sarkar, his son, Raghunandan, 5-year-old boy who offered prasad to the home deities, Gopinath. And Lord accepted because he started crying. That Lord, why are you not eating? Lord said, I have eaten by seeing on. No, this is not the way. You have to eat with mouth. The Lord ate it. And that was bit confusion for his mother, Mukunda Sarkar's wife. So Mukund Sarkar, when he returned in the evening, again it was tasted. Again food was made and he was told to offer. And Mukunda Sarkar was watching from the in some hole or something. And he saw the Lord accepts like that. They say that laddu is still there, which is offered to the Lord, half remaining, still there in that gram. If you go there, you can honor it. Shrikhanda. It's close to where Katwa, from there road goes little ahead. So there is Khanda, Shrikhanda. Acharya Thayayla Nilachalaite. They all also came to Advaita Acharya's house to join him. Sekale Dakshina Haite Paramananda Puri, Gangati Re Tirayla Nadiya Nagari. So these are all the devotees from there. But now there's another person is coming who is Paramananda Puri, a disciple of Madhvendra Puri. And he, after Mahaprabhu stayed in Srirangam for 4 months of Chaturmas in his Dakshin Bharat tour. So he left that after Chaturmas was over. Then he went to Rishabh Hills. And that's where he met Paramananda Puri. Paramananda Puri is Uddhav in Krishna Lila. So Krishna is very close, intimate with Uddhav. In fact, Uddhav was not only disciple of Brahaspati, very scholarly, but Krishna accepted him as his counselor. Very dear to Krishna, Uddhav. That's why he sent Uddhav to Vrindavan also. There was some tinge of pride in him, being a disciple of Brahaspati. Krishna wanted him to get rid of that pride. So he wanted him to see high class devotees, Brajavasis, how much they love. But Uddhav is very dear to Lord Krishna. In fact, when in the assembly hall, Sudharma assembly, where the discussion was going on, when all the Yadavas were sitting, Ugrasen was heading the meeting. That time, uh, the invitation had already come from Yudhishthir Maharaj for Rajasriya Yagya. So Krishna was thinking about that. That proposal had just come, and suddenly one strange man appeared, entered in the courtyard. Everybody was looking, who is this? So that man handed over one letter. So the letter was read. That was the letter by those kings who were captured by Jarasan in Magad Desh. He was the king there. And they were to be given Narabali. They were to be sacrificed alive. So they were concerned. They had sent message, "Oh Lord, we have been captured by Jarasan and we are in trouble. We seek your help. Please rescue us from this situation." So then there is a conflict. What to do? Here Rajaswi Yagya sacrifice invitation, and here these kings are asking for protection. And in that case, Jarasan needs to be killed to rescue these kings. So that time Krishna asked Uddhav, that my dear Uddhav, what do you think should be done? In fact, Samba, Krishna's son, and some other Yadav princes, they were feeling we should go for Rajasuya, we should go for killing Jarasan, like that. So then, when consulted, Uddhav said, for Jarasan, he is blessed, he cannot be defeated in any war. He can be defeated in a duel only. And in future, yourself, means Krishna, Arjun and Bhim could go to his place and ask for the donation or the what do you call arms of fight, duel. And there Bhima will kill Jarasan because he cannot be defeated in a war. And for Yudhishthira Maharaj to perform Rajaswi Yagya, he has to defeat all the kings. All the kings have to accept subordination of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And everybody will accept, but not Jarasan. And for that reason, Jarasan had to be killed. He has to be fought, but he cannot be fought in a war, but only in a duel. So that time you will go. So that's why now you should go for Rajaswaya sacrifice of Yudhishthir Maharaj. So when Samba and other princes heard this, they were very upset. They stamping their feet, they went out of the court. They were not happy. What is this? But this Uddhava was so dear to Krishna. He has appeared in Chaitanya as Paramananda Puri. So Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Paramanand Puri that I want to be in your association. You are equal to my Guru. You are the god brother of my Guru. So why don't you come to Puri Dham? I would be settling there after my South Indian tour. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went further south and Paramananda Puri went for his tour. Now as he has come to Navadvip and he came to know that Mahaprabhu has returned from his Dakshin Bharat Yatra, so he was very happy. So he also decided, let me also join these devotees, and along with Advaita Acharya, Shivanand Sen, all these devotees, I will also go to Puri Dham. So he came to the house of Sachimata. Aira mandire sukhe karila vishram, aitare bhiksha dila kariya samman. I means Sachimata. She is universal mother. So he came to her house, rested there, and she offered some alms, some prasad. प्रभु रागमन ते हो तहा ईशु नीला शीघ्र नीला चले आयते तार इच्छा हैला. There only he came to know from Mother Sachi. Naturally, mother is happy that my son has come back from South India. She informed him, and he heard them. So he also decided, I will also go to Nilachal. Prabhu ek bhakta dvija kamala kanta tare laya nilachale karila prayana. One devotee of Mahaprabhu was there. His name was Kamalakant Dvija. So along with him, Paramanand Puri came to this Puri Dham. Satvare asyateha milila prabhure prabhura ananda haila payata hare. Very quickly he came to Gambira, Mahaprabhu's residence, and Mahaprabhu was very happy to see him. Prema veshe kaila tara charana vandan teha prema veshe kaila prabhure alingan. Out of love, Mahaprabhu offered obeisances to his lotus feet, and Paramanand Puri embraced Mahaprabhu. So this is the etiquette also, that younger devotee pays obeisances to senior devotee and senior devotee embraces him. This was very precisely seen in Pandava's relationship with Krishna. When Krishna would meet Pandavas, he would see Yudhishthira Maharaj, immediately he would pay obeisances. And Yudhishthira Maharaj would pick him up and embrace him. Then he would see Bhima, he would pay obeisances. Bhima would pick him up and embrace him. Then Arjun, they are both contemporaries. They are of the same age. They would embrace each other. Then Nakul would come forward, he would pay obeisances. Krishna would pick him up, embrace him. Then Sahadev would come, he would pay obeisances. Krishna would pick him up and embrace him. So this is Vaishnava etiquette. Here we'll find so many times Alingan, Alingan, Alingan. So many embraces. Mahaprabhu is embracing now. He's being embraced. So it's a very nice sign. In the world, hardly anybody embraces each other. So because love is lacking, all hollow relationships, shallow. Nobody loves others. Only envy, envy, envy. So devotees, Vaishnavas, they love. Certainly, COVID came in between. Do haath ki duri, mask hai zaruri. Keep 2 feet distance from each other and wear mask. So COVID created chaos in Vaishnava community. Outsiders were troubled because of their sense gratification was hampered. But devotees, spiritual relationships were hampered. Devotees also have to keep distance. That was not being offered on in our NVCC temple because you put it and you smell it, so virus will enter. So now hopefully that is gone. Some more time maybe, little tension is there, but hopefully by November or December, according to astrologers, the January 2023 would be new era, free from COVID and all that. So, but this is relationships among devotees. प्रभु कहे तोमा संगे रहिते वांछा होय मोरे कृपा करी कर नीलाद्रि आश्रय. So he has come to stay with the devotees anyway, with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then still Mahaprabhu said, I want to stay in your association. Please be merciful and stay here only. So among Vaishnava there is so much love. They want other devotees association more and more. So that's why true relationship is found among Vaishnavas. They want the other devotee to stay more and more and give their association. But in the materialistic civilizations, materialistic life, people don't want others. Like guest reception is the grahastha dharma. But unfortunately now hardly any spiritual training. So people are not grahasthas, then they are grahametis. So if they come to know some guest is coming, they will lock their doors and they will go somewhere exactly when he is about to come, like that. And somehow if he becomes atithi, uninvited guest, then they will give such a look at him. This fellow came. He did not inform. He will even ask, you did not call Prabhu or call whatever that Mister. I thought I just meet you. Why you wanted to meet me? If you would have informed me, I would have locked the doors and run away. Like that. So for receiving guests in this way, with a crooked look on the face, one goes to a particular hell. In fifth canto, that is described. Because Grahastha Dharma dictates that guests should be received very nicely. Even uninvited guests, a tithi. Tithi means, he has told I will come such and such day. A tithi, one suddenly comes in. So he should be received very nicely. It is said even if the enemy comes to house, he should be received so nicely, treated so nicely, that he forgets that I have come to the house of my enemy. Like that. Only when whole thing is over, he is leaving. When he is out, then he will think, oh, I think I had entered in the enemy's house. No? I did not feel low like that. So such a reception, so much. So what extent one should go, that is told. Like Bilomangal Thakur in his earlier life, he was mad after Chintamani, a prostitute. Somehow when he left and he was going to Vrindavan, because she told, the kind of attraction you have for my skin, if only you had it for Krishna, by now you would have achieved Krishna's full mercy. And that was enlightening. His spiritual master Somgiri spoke through her, that's what he took it, and he left for Vrindavan to get Krishna. But on the way again, he got attracted to one young, beautiful Brahmani. And he started going behind her, and she was chaste woman. She was wondering why this stranger is behind me. She started walking fast, and he was going behind. And she entered in her house. He also entered shamelessly. And then she went inside and she sent her husband outside. And husband came and said, Sir, how could I serve you? And he said, I want to be alone with your wife. And that gentleman, as a Grahastha Dharma, satisfying Atithi, he went inside and told his wife that you should be alone with him. That is his desire. So you be alone. She said, how can I be alone? That is not good for me. So he said, don't worry. You go ahead. So husband blessed. She was alone like that. But then Bilomangal Thakur again came to sanity. And when he was alone with her, he asked that, mother, could you give me your hairpins? And she was wondering why he wanted to be alone for hairpins What will he do with hairpins? Anyway, I have been told by my husband. So she took out her hairpins and gave in his hands. He took the hairpins and plucked out his eyes right in front of her. Streams of blood came forth. She shouted loudly. The husband came running. He said, "My dear sir, what have you done?" He said, "These eyes are my enemies. You know, I got cheated again because of these eyes. So now the eyes are not there. Now my attraction to Lord will be unhampered like that." So we may also have lust in our heart, and we may also think, might as well I'll remove my eyes. So ISKCON should not become international society for blind devotees. So it is not recommended that we take out our eyes, but we can take beautiful darshan of their lordships, and then all that lust will evaporate. Serve the lordships. Kama Krishna Karamarpani. The way our Acharya Narottam Das Thakur has told in Prema Bhakti Chandrika. How to purify lust? By working hard for Krishna. Kama Krishna Karma Arpani. Offer everything that you do to Krishna. Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. Anger can be purified by becoming angry on those who are inimical to Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. Then Mada Krishna Gunagani. Pride that we have, we can purify it by glorifying Krishna. So I'm very grateful I get the opportunity. Here we get to glorify Krishna. Sitting here, I cannot say, so I am so great, and whatever. So immediately you'll be tracked down. What kind of fool is there on that dice? Pull him down like that. So Mada Krishna Gunagani, glorifying Krishna. And what remains? Kam, Krodh, Lobha. Lobha sadhu sange harikatha. In the midst of sadhus, speaking and hearing harikatha. That way, love, greed can be purified. Same time, not we are now that we are here, whatever 1 hour. If we would have been outside, many of the grastas, they could earn few hundred rupees, few thousand rupees. Maybe some people can earn few lakhs rupees within a matter of 1 hour. They are businessmen. They know how to do that. But instead of earning the wealth of this world, one could earn the wealth of that world, Golok Vrindavan Dham, by hearing Harikatha in the midst of devotees. So, uh, Lobha sadhu sange harikatha. And fifth one, moha. Moha ishta labha vinay. Because of not getting Krishna, one should go illusioned, one should go mad. Oh, how can I live without Krishna? Shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. And sometimes like a boy is in love with a girl. So he says, oh Kalpana, तुम्हारे बिना मैं जीने की कल्पना ही नहीं कर सकता. Her name is Kalpana. So he cannot think of life without Kalpana. So this is moha, illusion. He's such a fool. He's thinking without her. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam kalpana virahena me. But Mahaprabhu has said Govinda virahena. So moha can also be doubted. So 5 things can be doubted, not the 6th. Envy cannot be doubted. With discretion, one has to give it up voluntarily. And because of envy only, one commits offenses to Vaishnavas. So one has to be extremely careful. Other 5 can be doubted, but not envy. So that's how we should consciously humble ourselves before devotees. So Mahaprabhu is requesting him, please stay here. Puri kahe toma sange rahite vancha kari, gauda haite chali ailan Chilachala Puri. So Puri, Paramanapuri also said that I also desired to be with you, to stay with you. That's why when I was in Gauda Desh, and their devotees were coming here, but then that was taking long time. So I just came quickly. Dakshin Haite Shuni Tomara Agaman, Sachi Anandita, Arayata Bhaktagan. Your arrival from Dakshin Bharat has made Sachi Mata and other devotees very happy. Sabe I te chen, Tomara dekite, Tasavara Vilamba deki, Ailan Twarite. So others are going to come to meet you. They're very eager. But I was finding that they were getting delayed. So I just came quickly. Ashimeshwar Avase Nibrute Ek Ghar, Prabhu Tare Dila, Aras Sevara Kinkar. So Mahaprabhu, settlement is done that he would be staying with Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu gave him one part of Kashi Mishra's house and also gave him one servant. Because Paramananda is elderly, that to Guru Tulya. He's as good as his spiritual master. So in his service, he offered one servant also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered. So okay, time gone over time. So any question? Swarup Damodar is going to come, but time is over. Yes.
Thank you first of all to very elaborately you describe about the pastimes with lessons. I wanted to ask about Gambhira's size and sometimes
Gambhira's
the size.
size.
And I have heard that there are sometimes 200 devotees sitting in Gambhira at a time. So
By a Lord's desire, they could sit also.
yes.
But as far as I know, it was that small only. The way it is, that is way it was. Very small.
And regarding voice devotees, we train them. So those who have decided to get married. So is it okay to inspire them to be in a
In the
base or such a yoga
in the
where
base.
in the base where working devotees stay, or where yoga where not voice but yoga where like this where we have over here
Before marriage, after marriage.
before marriage
What is the problem?
without working.
Without working, yes, why not? Every male member who is not married should try to be a brahmachari. That means no job and just stay in temple and give full time service.
Yes, but Guruji, one concern may come.
What
We
about job afterwards?
means we are very much inspired ourselves as a brahmachari preacher also, but their faith level may not be to that level.
They
Their faith will not be to that level that oh I
they
will
should not be forced. It should be told. Like I tell in all my classes, that all boys who are not married should join full time, give up their job and join full time brahmachari. Stay for 1 year, maybe 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you like the whole life, you can continue whole life. If not, don't worry, you will get a girl. Nokri and chokri, Krishna will arrange. And inside, if you stay, Bhakri will arrange. But give yourself fully. In the Christian world, they have this concept of being missionary. They give. In fact, husband wives also give 2 years, 4 years. They have some period. Both husband wife they are married, but they will go and do lot of missionary work. That the way we know what kind of missionary work they do, conversion and all that. But opening churches, they assist in very full-fledged, 100% fully devoted. They give chunk period of their life. What to speak of before marriage? Then when there are no responsibilities. And even if there is a gap, Krishna will arrange. I have seen so many of my friends who stayed in ashram 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. 20 years later, when they went out at the age of 40, 40 plus, for them everything came. Wife came, job came, more money than what other software engineers could earn, like that. Because they gave their dedicated life for such decades. Krishna arranges everything. Yogakshema Mahamya. What is the big deal for Krishna to arrange for you 1 lakh, 2 lakh per month? Not a big deal. In fact, some boy they had that they had given name for marriage bureau. That some girl will suppose proposal will come. So 2 years pass, 3 years pass, and here meanwhile one of the brahmacharis left ashram after staying in the ashram for whatever 11, 12 years like that. He came out within 6 months. He got married also. Marriage is also over, and all his friends started saying, "Arey, just see, brahmacharis are so advanced." He came out within 6 months. He got Mughal and he got married. And you fellow for 3 years you are there in marriage bureau, no name, no. You are not getting a girl only. And poor fellow, he was embarrassed. He was wondering what to say. So Krishna will arrange everything. Now, we want full-time dedicated devotees for the propagating this mission of Prabhupada, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when you are fully free, there is nothing else. You can do missionary work so much, day in and day out, 24 hours, no other anxiety. No wife, no children, no house, no money, no relatives, no parents, nothing. Only Krishna, Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. So, and one who likes this lifestyle, might as well he could go on for whole life. And Mataji will get married, that is not a problem. When Prabhupada was asked by Giriraj Maharaj, I think in Jew temple, that Prabhupada, what to do about this? Prabhupada said, make sure all male members remain brahmacharis and all Matajis get married, all the girls get married. And he said, Prabhupada, how to do that? Prabhupada said, that is your management. How is it possible? It will happen. So at least I encourage fully. Like here Matajis are sitting, but in front of them also. They are our mothers.
Thank you.
It's a training part. Ideally, it should have been started at the age of 5. But unfortunately, we are in modern day such degraded culture, wherein children are not sent to Gurukul at the age of 5. Rather, they are sent to spiritual slaughterhouses. as Prabhupada would call the modern day schools, like that. They are useless slaughterhouses. All the inclination to serve Krishna is all killed there. Rather, there are so much discussion that there is no God, or if at all is there, we have done much better than God. God creates chaos and we sort it out. So what is the use of such civilization? Yes, any other question?
Hare Krishna, Puri. Thank you for amazing class. Sometimes this independent mentality that comes in our mind, and
Sometimes you are very fortunate.
many times
For me, it is all the time there. That's why Radheshyam also gave freedom to me. You are so independent, you only decide your life. You are fortunate. If sometimes only.
many times it comes. Yes.
For me, all the time. Okay.
So how to deal with that truth?
That's why we should subordinate ourselves to a Vaishnava. You may switch it off. So we should subordinate ourselves to some Vaishnava who is very nicely situated. He will guide our wanderings. He will not allow us to go off track, astray. He will keep giving us services. Prabhupada was Nitya Bhagavat, Nitya Siddha Bhagavat, but he also took the two instructions so seriously. We may not be able to take only one or two instructions and whole life we spend working on it. We can have many instructions, small services. Subordinating ourselves is the only way. That way we can. Just like a wife is safe under husband, serving him, like that we should be. Like wife, all the time under husband. Krishna is our husband, Guru is our husband, Vaishnava is our husbands. So just subordinating to one such Vaishnava who keeps us completely engaged. Then there is no scope for doing this or that. When we were young brahmacharis, Radheshyam gave us, we were 10-15 of us, and we were all leaders in Pune temple. The temple was small, but our activities were so many. My God, youth preaching, kitchen department, and temple management, hundreds of things. So we were all leaders in charge for different things. And 10-15 of us simultaneously under Radheshyam and Radheshyam could give us so many services that all of us were foaming at mouth. There was no scope for Maya in that sense. Such tight schedules we had. When I joined as a brahmachari, first 15 days I could not sleep for 6 hours also. 5 to 5.5 hours max. And those hours, wakeful hours, were so tight that as soon as I would get up, first thing I would run to ISKCON Youth Forum to put cassette for recording. I had that service. And then I come back to ashram, then get all cleaned and all, take bath, etc. Immediately before Mangalarti, go again there, change the side of the cassette, put it for recording. Then attend Mangalarti. As soon as Mangalarti is over, again run there. It's like 24 hours kind of that consciousness only. Such tight, packed schedule I had. Because two voices were opening up, two youth centers. For one, Krishna Smaran Prabhu was coming for inauguration, and for other, Gaurang Prabhu was coming. And I had all the load of recording some 1200 or 1500 cassettes. I was all alone. So I was slogging like anything for that. So we should keep ourselves under some Vaishnava who will keep us tight. I was acting as Radheshyam Guru's personal secretary. So personal secretary should receive services from his master. So I would go to him, so Prabhu, what are my services? What are services you have for me? He would say, Sundarshyam, I'm so busy with this. I have so many services for you, but I don't have time to tell you. And I would wonder, my God, what kind of master is this? He has hundreds of services for me, but he doesn't have time to tell me. Like that. So such kind of people we should choose as our masters. We will not allow Maya to come in our life. There should not be any free time, especially for young brahmacharis, no question. For anyone for that matter. But a young brahmachari mind is very passionate. So a lot of engagement should be there. So put yourself, subordinate yourself to some nice dedicated Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, regarding you spoke about this is especially for devotee grahasthas, those are children. So regarding their education, so I see that it's a great anxiety for many parents about education. and especially education is becoming very expensive, and at the same time we don't get that Vedic this thing. And my question is ultimately, what is how do we see no, everyone is one thing is that they want the children to be well educated because they are always that is there in within us also. So how do parents see what should be the approach, whether we be we should get them well educated, or is it okay minimum education okay enough? What is the guideline on that?
I would say that at least the initial education could be like kind of homeschooling. Some few grahasthas coming together, Prabhujis and Matajis, their children are only there, and they can be taught in the houses, or some place can also be taken, or within house also is okay. They can be trained, because that way, that those years, the formative years of their life, where they are taking all the vibrations, they will get the best vibration, because mother, father, all the devotees, parents are all devotees, well situated, 16 rounders. So they will give nice sanskaras. They can be brought to temple, like just like in Mayapur, all the gurukulis, they are brought for morning program. So that way they can be very nicely trained, and after 10th or so, 10th, 12th, whatever, then they could go out and do. We can ask like Ravi Gupta Prabhu's mother. She's in West, I don't know where, somewhere. She can be asked how Ravi Gupta Prabhu, who became Radhika Raman Prabhu, a disciple of His Holiness Hanumat Peksha Swami, how he became the youngest PhD after doing homeschooling. At the age of 22 or so, he got PhD degree from Cambridge or Oxford University. So just see, homeschooling and one of the youngest PhDs in the world. So Mataji can be asked what she did after homeschooling to some extent, what all things happened. And like that, there are some other grahasthas also who are doing that. But sending to schools, especially so many English medium schools, where all kinds of Western cultures are there, Western culture is there. It's very dangerous for the children. They will take in all those wrong vibrations. I prefer ZP school is better. You may say, oh no, no, that is very simple school, regional, not English medium. But at least personally, I was till 15 age, till completing my 10th standard, I never said yes, no, sorry, thank you, please, with any of the people in my society. We are purely from Marathi background, pure. You can say 100% pure. In the school, there was one subject, English. So there we learned alphabets. That also from 5th standard we had. Till 4th, no English also. So we could pick up, not a big deal. And most others are also like that. Then it's not a big deal. They can easily pick up English. They can easily pick up higher education afterwards. But till then, till age 15 or so, if they could be protected under the care of devotees only, brahmacharis and grahastha parents and devotee community, they will get groomed very nicely. That is my personal opinion, but you should still uh, consult some other grahasthas also, particularly those who have done homeschooling, those who are a little bit more into this. In our Pune also, we are doing a lot of research. What all we have many varieties of schools for our children, grahastha children. We have our full-fledged school. It is affiliated with London, BMS, no? Then with whom? CBSE. Okay, CBSE pattern is there for our school, Bhaktivedanta Model School. That is within the temple campus. That is was best thing to happen. All the children, boys, girls, till 10th, what 10 till 10th standard it is there. All children, from LKG, UKG, whatever it is, they are all coming in the temple only, temple premises. Sometimes they come for darshan, but at least they are seeing brahmachari, they are seeing grahasthas. It's very nice. Yeah. Eventually, it will be shifted out. So this is one model. Another we have Vidyashram, 8 p.m. or whatever to 8 a.m. 6 to 7, 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. morning and evening. Like they will go to normal school, but then they are trained. I think you have exposure to all those things. He can be consulted. He was into it like that. I'm just telling what I have heard and seen. And then we have a full-fledged Gurukul in Shikrapur, which is there now. Madhav Seva Prabhu is taking care. You are assisting him. Yeah, so you can ask him all the details. That was like full-fledged Gurukul. So we are also what you call doing a lot of research how to train children, because they are our future. Tomorrow's ISKCON means all these children who are born to grahasthas mainly. Apart from that, we'll preach to many other boys also. but this could be solid asset to ISKCON because they are born in devotee family and they could become very powerful devotees. Prabhupada said the third generation will be stable. His disciples, because they're coming most of them Western background, so many bad things exposed. So many have remained, few have remained, but many have been lost also. I heard by 1986 or so, more than 4,000 disciples had left like that. You know. So because they were born and brought up in Western culture, because of Prabhupada's time they were there, they assisted, they got the mercy anyway, but afterwards they left. Second generation is ours. We are also a bit affected by Western culture, passion, ignorance is troubling. But the third generation is supposed to be very stable because they have seen two generations faults, defects. So they could be very stable. So children of the Grahasthas are very important. They have a key role to play in our future ISKCON. So you may consult him and plus some other Grahasthas and see what could be done. Yes. Acha. Huh?
You,
Acha.
you mentioned Radheshyam Prabhu and
I
Gaurang
came to
Prabhu.
know your batchmate of Radheshyam
Yeah,
Prabhu from
so
IIT.
I thought it is worth sharing few moments with them, and that will be useful for I think everybody. So like
But do you have a question?
yeah.
Huh? You have a question?
Pardon?
Do you have a question?
No, 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 no.
If I was thinking if they could ask question related to what, then at the end you could
Okay,
speak. Huh?
that's fine.
If you don't mind, thank
Thank
you. So is there any other question? You may ask.
How to understand the difference between aggressive preaching of Christian missionary and our ISKCON preaching? This question comes up during our outreach preaching. How to explain them?
How to know the difference between aggressive preaching?
Aggressive preaching of Christian missionaries
Uh,
and our ISKCON preaching, because when we go outside, they ask like this: what is difference between your Christian? Sorry, what is difference between Christian missionaries, aggressive preaching?
there we are solidly rooted in Vedas, scriptures. You know, it's completely pure. Whereas there it is many times allurements are given, money is given, education, free education, and even after conversion also the person is not elevated spiritually. It is rather filled, heart is filled with envy towards some group of people, some religion, and it's just material elevation. It's like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, in a building, if you take a person from this flat to other flat on the same floor, it's nothing, just changing flat. You have to take him to the upper floors. That elevation doesn't happen. So that kind of aggressive preaching is not helpful. Ours is a very humble role also. We go to person and request him, just like Nityam Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. When the person would hear the knock on the door, he would open the door, he would find no one there. And then he would find two people, gentlemen are paying obeisances, Ashtang Pranam. And he would ask, sir, what is that? Please stand up. Why are you like this? And they would say, please, sir, please chant Hare Krishna. You are Krishna's child. Krishna is your father. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your life and soul. Please chant Hare Krishna. Some would agree, some would disagree. In a sense, some would insult them also. But they were humble. So ours is not aggressive like that. Though Prabhupada said certainly, lion on chase and lamb at home. When you're out there, you should be like a lion on chase. How lion is on chase, he runs behind a deer. Very powerful if you see. Lion is very powerful. His strength in the body, in the shoulders is very high. And runs also with very high speed. So lion on chase and lamb at home with devotees inside temple premises or within our devotee community, we are like lambs. Very humble, very distinct. But lion on chase also doesn't mean that we are aggressive, we are insulting. That is not the way. We put, we just like Prabhupada said, like lawyers, they quote from IPC, Indian Penal Code and all that. And we make our case very strong, but we don't insult others. So that should be taken care. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, he wanted to say. You have a question? He is the decision maker now. Okay. Yeah. He Radheshamaru's friend wanted to say. What's your name, sir?
Sanjay.
Sanjay Prabhu.
So we happened to. I was fortunate to we when we joined IIT Bombay. We were put on the same room number 23 till 5. So me and Radhesham, and we were also the same MTech from the same department, metallurgy. And so what I want to say here, uh, by seeing them from the time when they were not full flesh into ISKCON, like the concept of the service was there. Like I remember often, like, okay, coming back at 3 o'clock, suppose from the lab in the night, and Rama there is saying, like, okay, Sanjay, you have not taken food. So he will ensure that my food is there in the mat. This is not for me, but you can see those simplicity, those devotion, like towards the humanity, that was very much there. Like, okay, so if in the hostel 6 where Gaurang Prabhu, Anand used to stay, so he was our junior. We both were the classmate. I continued after MTech PhD. And what you told, like, okay, so we three went for the sannyas. We stayed nicely in the Juhu temple. After a month I came out. So when you told, like, okay, if you have a full devotion, Krishna will give you job and everything. So I think I am that example, coming out and receiving everything. And but those two people were so humble. Now it is almost I came out in 99, and our interaction in the institute was 93. 93 they both passed out. So from 93 to today, like, it never happened that we didn't talk any month or anything. We kept connected to each other, learning from each other. So the humbleness, and like, going to anywhere, whatever the type of environment IITs were, IIT Bombay was, like, okay, was is better than, I think, if I compare all the universities in US and UK, like, that was that much advanced that time. But nothing impacted them. And still I remember when Rama used to come back to IIT for the preaching, Radhesham Prabhu and Professor Venkatachalam, who was our guide and his guide, he used to come and do sashtang from pranam to him. That was the humbleness. That was the relationship which we maintained. So I will request, that was the side which everybody should know. He was always on the top. In the study there was no comparison. Like, okay, but on the other side, the humbleness, the service to, he will ensure that, everybody eats in the evening in the hostel. Like, those simple thing. And today when you see where they are, we are struggling with 4 people family, one 3 BHK house, but how many millions of people they are taking care of that. So that's all. I just thought I will share those golden moments, convey my regards to him.
Yes, definitely.
So
Thank you.
we really spend a good time together in the same room, in
Yeah.
the same wing, in the same department.
Okay.
So that I always feel like, on that is the one thing which I always cherish.
He will come here. They will invite him also.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
I
Hare
think
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The last 3 days was very wonderful. You drowned us in Chaitanya Leela Guruji, Jagannath Puri, and South Indian pastimes. So we're very grateful and we're looking forward again to your visit next time, number in September. So let's thank His Grace Sundarshyam Prabhu by heartily chanting once Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So prasadam is arranged for all the devotees in the courtyard. And so IF devotees will have a separate class at 11 o'clock in the base. Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Jai. Thank you for joining today's class. We'll be having our class again live from temple tomorrow at 8:30. I'll just end the session now. Hare Krishna.